Hi everyone, this is Sridhar at eShikshana. In this video, we'll discuss on electrical and electronics amplifiers. In the previous video, we have discussed about type of amplifiers. On the basis of working principle, it may be categorized as mechanical amplifiers, fluid amplifiers, optical amplifiers, and electrical and electronic amplifiers. So before starting, I suggest you to go through my previous video based on mechanical amplifiers, fluid amplifiers, and optical amplifiers. The link is given in the description. In this video, we'll discuss only on electrical and electronic amplifier. Electrical amplifiers are used to increase the magnitude of weak voltage or current signal obtained from the transducers. In electrical and electronic amplifiers, we'll discuss on desirable characteristics of electronic amplifiers, electronic amplification of gain, AC and DC amplifiers, modulated and unmodulated signals, integrated circuits, operational amplifiers, attenuators, and filters. The desirable characteristics of electronic amplifiers are high input impedance so that the effect of loading on the transducer is reduced, low output impedance so that the amplifier has less effect of loading by the display or recording devices. Frequency response should be good as that of the transducers. Electronic amplification gain. We expect that the ideal amplifier should behave as follows. It should have infinite gain so that any signal can be amplified. Infinite input impedance, no input current, hence no load on the previous stages or devices. Zero output impedance, infinite frequency bandwidth, zero output for zero input, ability to ignore or reject extraneous inputs, infinite CMRR, that is common mode rejection ratio. Obviously, not all amplifiers can achieve the above ideal characteristics. An electronic amplifier, separate power is provided so that the output power may exceed the input if that is required. Here V1 is the input voltage, I is the input current, V0 is the output voltage, I0 is the output current. Then the gain is given by power output by the power input, or can be represented as V0 I0 by Vi II. The voltage amplification can be given as voltage output by voltage input, V0 by VII, V0 by VI. The current amplification can be given as current output by the current input, I0 by II. The another way of expressing the power gain is through use of decibel. The power gain equal to log 10 V0 by Vi in terms of bell. 1 bell is equal to 10 decibels. The power gain can be represented as 10 log 10 P0 by Pi in decibels. If two powers are developed in the same resistance or equal resistance, then the equations can be represented as Pi equal to I square R and P0 equal to I0 square R. The voltage gain can be represented as 20 log 10 V0 by Vi in decibels. Current gain is represented as 20 log 10 I0 by II in decibels. Next, we'll discuss on the AC and DC amplifiers. The instrumentation system usually employs the following two types of electronic amplifiers: AC coupled amplifier and DC coupled amplifier. For AC amplifiers, bandwidth range of frequencies between which gain or amplitude ratio is constant within -3 decibels, the 3 decibels down points. So this corresponds to the frequency at which the voltage output amplitudes falls by 29.3% to 70.7% of maximum value. The AC amplifiers are only capable of dealing with rapid repetitive signals but are usually simple and cheaper when compared with the DC counterparts. An AC amplifier, the amplifier drift is suspicious noise are not significant. The main frequency pickup rejection is very high. As in DC amplifiers are capable of amplifying static, slow changing or repetitive input signals. The DC amplifier systems are easily to calibrate at low frequencies and have the ability to recover rapidly from overload conditions. Next, we'll discuss on modulated and unmodulated signals. The measurement may be pure in this sense that analog electrical signals contains nothing more than a real-time variation of the measurement information itself. On other hand, the signal may be mixed with the carrier, which consists of a voltage oscillation at some frequency higher than that of the signal, is that the frequency ratio should be at least 10 is to 1. The measure affects the carrier by varying either its amplitude or its frequency. Amplitude modulation, where carrier frequency is held constant and its amplitude varied by measurement, wherein frequency modulation, the carrier amplitude is held constant and its frequency is varied by the measurement. The most familiar use of AM and FM transfer of signals in an AM and FM radio broadcasting. When modulation is used in instrumentation, amplitude modulation is the most common form. Nearly any mechanical signal from a passive pickup can be transduced into an analogous AM form. Sensor based on their inductance or capacitance required an AC excitation. In addition, resistance type sensors may be also used in AC excitation as with some strain gauge circuits. It is required to extract the signal information from modulated carrier is to display the entire signal using oscilloscope and then to read the result from envelope of the carrier. More commonly, the mixed signal and carrier are demodulated by rectification and filtering. FM demodulation is more complex operation and may be accomplished by the use of frequency discrimination, radio detection, or phase lock loops. Integrated circuits. The elements consist of transistors, diodes, resistors, and to lesser extent capacitors. All are connected in a package in convenient plug-in units. The IC forms of building blocks are used to construct more complex circuits such as differential amplifiers, mixers, timers, filters, audio preamplifiers, voltage references, auto power amplifiers, regulators, and comparators. Operational amplifiers. The op-amp is a linear integrated circuit that has very high voltage gain, high input impedance, and low output impedance. It is basically used for mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, integration, and differentiation, etc. Here we'll discuss the characteristics of op-amp, open loop and closed loop op-amps, applications of op-amps, op-amp circuits used in instrumentation. So before going to these, we'll discuss the symbol of the op-amp. The op-amp consisting of two inputs, non-inverting input with a positive sign, inverting input with a negative sign. So we can label them as a V1 and V2. The output V0, and to operate this op-amp we require the plus VCC and minus VCC supply voltages, and the open loop gain of the op-amp is 2 lakh or 2 into 10 to the power of 5. So first we'll discuss the characteristics of operational amplifiers. There are many electrical characteristics to be considered to understand the usage and selection of the op-amp. Some of them are discussed here. Input offset voltage. It's a voltage that is applied to the terminals of the op-amp to make the output voltage zero. Input offset current. It is defined as the net difference in current that must be applied at the input terminals to make the output voltage zero. Input chuck current. It is the mean of two input currents to make the voltage zero. Sleeve rate, the maximum rate at which the output can change. It is expressed as volts per microseconds. Unity gain frequency, it is the frequency at the open loop gain of the amplifier becomes unity. Common mode rejection ratio, it is the ratio of desirable signals to undesirable signals. Next, we'll discuss the open loop and closed loop op-amps. Open loop configurations. The term open loop indicates that no feedback in any form is fed to the input from the output. When connected in open loop, the op-amp functions as very high gain amplifier. So there are three open loop configurations. Op-amp, namely differential amplifier, inverting amplifier, and non-inverting amplifier. Differential amplifier, so where the input Vi1 and Vi2 are connected to a inverting non-inverting terminals, and the output can be given as V0 equal to A, that is open loop gain, into the difference of the two inputs Vi1 and Vi2. Further, in inverting amplifier, the input is connected to the inverting terminal of the op-amp and non-inverting terminal is connected to ground. The output voltage can be given as V0 equal to minus A into Vi. Hence, the non-inverting terminal is connected to ground, it would result into 0. So the negative sign indicates the output is 180 degrees out of phase with respect to input. A non-inverting amplifier, where the input is connected to the non-inverting terminal of the op-amp and inverting terminal is connected to ground. The output voltage can be represented as V0 equal to A into Vi, the open loop gain into input voltage Vi. So this gives the amplified output as same as the input, which doesn't have the phase shift. Hence, it is a non-inverting amplifier. Limitations of the open loop op-amp amplifier configurations. Firstly, in the open loop configurations, clipping out of the waveform can occur when the output voltage exceeds the saturation level of the op-amp. This is due to very high open loop gain of the op-amp. So we know that the open loop gain of the op-amp is 2 lakh. If the input voltage is only 1 volts, the output of the op-amp can result into 2 lakh volts. So it is very difficult to measure. So hence the output clipping occurs when it exceeds the voltage saturation levels. Secondly, the open loop gain of the op-amp is not constant and it is varies with changing the temperature and variation in the power supply. Also, the bandwidth of open loop configuration is very small. We can say it is a negligibly small or almost narrow. For the reason stated, the op-amp is generally not used in linear applications. However, the open loop op-amp configuration can be used in non-linear applications such as in comparators, square wave generators, and astable multivibrators, etc. Next, we'll discuss closed loop op-amp configurations as a non-inverting amplifier. So, wherein the non-inverting terminal is connected with an input and inverting terminal is connected with a feedback. which is a negative feedback. And the gain equation can be represented as AF, closed loop gain, 1 plus RF by R1. And further, the V naught can be represented as V naught equal to 1 plus RF by R1 into V in. The inverting amplifier, the input is connected to inverting terminal of the op-amp through the RF, and gain can be represented as AF equal to minus RF by R1. Further, the V naught can be represented as minus RF by R1 into V in. So this negative sign indicates the output voltage is a 180 degrees out of phase with the input. The applications of the op-amp. The op-amp can be used as a linear voltage amplifiers, integrators and differentiators, differential amplifier voltage comparators, function generators, filters, impedance transformers. The op-amp circuits used in instrumentation amplifiers are inverters, adders, subtractors, multiply and divider circuits, integrators, differentiator, buffer amplifier, differential amplifier. We'll discuss on these circuits. The inverter. So figure shows the circuit of an op-amp inverter consisting of the op-amp in inverting configuration. The feedback resistance RF is made up of equal to the resistance R1 connected to the inverting, and the amplifier output is given by V naught equal to minus RF by R1 into V1. Further, if RF is made equal to R1, so we can write it as V naught equal to V1. The output voltage is 180 degrees out of phase with the input indicated by the negative sign. So hence this circuit acts as a inverter. The adder circuit. The diagram shows the op-amp circuit that performs as an adder. Using superposition theorem, we can write the output voltage with respect to the three inputs as V1, V2, V3, which is connected to the inverting terminal of the op-amp with the feedback resistance RF. Can be represented as V naught equal to minus RF by R1 into V1 plus RF by R2 into V2 plus RF by R3 into V3. Further, if R1, R2, R3 equals the feedback resistors, then the output voltage can be represented as V naught equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 with 180 degrees out of phase. Hence the circuit acts as the adder circuit. The op-amp can be used as a subtractor. The circuit used for the subtraction of a two input signal shown in figure. The output voltage is given by V naught equal to minus of minus V1 RF by R1 minus RF by R3 plus V2 RF by R2. If R1, R2, R3 are made equal to RF, the circuit acts as a pure subtractor. The output voltage is given by V naught equal to V1 minus V2. The op-amp acts as a multiplier and divider. The op-amp inverting equation is given by the V naught equal to minus RF by R1 into V1. In case if RF is greater than R1, the circuit shown in figure acts as a divider. Thus, by choosing the value of RF and R1, the multiplier and divider circuits can be designed. Op-amp as the integrator. The figure shows the integrator circuit, which the output voltage is proportional to the integral of the input voltage. The capacitor is connected in feedback circuit, and the non-inverting terminal is connected to ground. And by identifying the voltage developed at the node V dash by applying a KCL, the equations can be represented as IN equal to IC. We can write as V2 minus V1 by R equal to C d by dt V naught minus V dash. So for finite differential voltage gain, V dash equal to 0, hence we can represent as minus V1 by R equal to C d by dt V naught. By integration, we get V naught equal to minus 1 by RC integration of V1 dt. The differential amplifier is obtained by the interchanging the position of the resistance and capacitor at voltage at node V dash. We can write it as IC equal to IR. Further, we can write the output voltage as by rearranging the above equation minus RC d by dt into V1. Buffer or voltage follower. The buffer amplifier is an essential and impedance transformer which converts the voltage at high impedance to the same voltage at the important circuit of unity gain. The circuit shown in figure acts as the voltage follower by simply connecting the output to the inverting terminal of the op amp. Differential amplifier. The differential amplifier is a significant important in an instrumentation system. In its basic form, it has two inputs and output. The signal available to the two inputs are identical. Expect that the two are 180 degrees out of phase with each other. The output voltage of the amplifier is proportional to the difference between the two inputs voltages as shown in the circuit. The advantages of the differential amplifier is the noise immunity. These amplifiers are extensively used in equipment, voltmeters, and oscilloscopes. Drift immunity. The differential amplifier has inherent capabilities of eliminating problems of drift. The differential amplifier construction is used for early stages of fossils of oscilloscopes and electronic voltmeters amplifiers. That low drift is extremely important. Attenuators. The attenuator is a two-port resistance network and it uses to reduce the signal level by the given amount. Attenuator may be used in number of applications. It is necessary to introduce specific losses between the source and the matched load without altering the impedance relationship. May be symmetrical or asymmetrical and can be either fixed or variable. A fixed attenuator with a constant attenuation is called a pad. A variable attenuator is used to control the volumes in radio broadcasting sections. Attenuators are also used in laboratories to obtain small value of the voltage or current for testing circuit. Destination is expressed in decibels or Napper. Attenuation offered by a network in decibels is given by attenuation equal to 10 log 10 pi by p naught in decibels, where pi is the input power and p naught is the output power. Attenuators may be following types: resistance attenuators, symmetrical T attenuators, L type attenuators, or pi type attenuators. Next, we'll discuss on filters. Filtering is the process of attenuating unwanted components of a measurement while permitting the desired components to pass. Filter is an electronic circuit with Filter is a electronic circuit which can pass or stop the particular band of frequencies through it. The band of frequencies which will pass through the filter is called the band pass. The band of all remaining frequencies is called attenuation band. The classification of filters based on the attenuating frequencies. So low pass filter. The filter which passes only low frequencies through them and which rejects all high frequencies above the cutoff frequencies. It is also called as lag network because it causes the phase lag in the output signal. It is also called as an integrator network. So it can be seen in the diagram which passes only a low pass signals. The high pass filter in which it passes only high frequencies through them and which rejects all low frequencies below the cutoff frequency. It is a differentiating network and also called as a lead network because it will cause the phase lead in the output signal. So you can see the diagram, all low frequency signals are being rejected and high frequency signals are being passed. The band pass filter. So it will pass band of frequencies through them and which rejects all other frequencies through them. Band stop filter, it also known as band elimination filter, in which rejects a band of frequencies to pass through them, and which allow other frequencies to pass through them. So you can see the two diagrams where representing a band pass filters and band stop filters, where both are in contrast with each other. So in band pass filter, it passes a sub-rank frequencies and rejects the other frequencies, and in band stop filter, which rejects the certain band frequencies and pass all other frequencies through them. So this is about the filters. Thank you for watching. Please share and like the video, and don't forget to subscribe the channel.